Hello my lovelies, it is Bluekitty here, and I have brought to you today another cosplay video. Today I will be doing a walkthrough of how I made the Kagune for my gingerbread Kaneki cosplay, so I hope you guys like it. Unfortunately, while I was making the Kagune for Kaneki, I didn't record any of the making. I took a lot of progress pictures, but I didn't record. So basically this video is just going to be me doing the thing. I know. Maddie, words. Use your words. I will be taking video and showing you the materials I used, the finished Kagune, as well as putting in all my progress pictures, and then I'll do a cool little voiceover thing. That's gonna sound terrible because my laptop, my editing system for videos on my laptop sucks ass. It is the generic Windows Movie Maker because I'm a cheap ass hoe who doesn't have time to find a good free editing service that doesn't give you a virus or doesn't, and I don't want to spend money on an editing software at this point. I probably will later in time, but right now, Maddie ain't got money for that, nor time. Hey yo, Bluekitty here. So, for my Kagune, I use chicken wire to make the basic structure of it. I would cut a fairly large piece from the roll carefully, and I'm emphasizing carefully, roll it up diagonally, and then form it into the shape I wanted. Please, please, please be careful when using chicken wire, especially with all the sharp edges. I cut up my hands so freaking much during this part. It's honestly kind of pathetic. Like, seriously, please be careful. After I had formed the Kagune, I had 4 parts. I used electrical tape to keep each of it together because it would try to unroll a bit, and so I would use it to keep it in the shape, and then also the shapes that I bent it into, like all the bends, I'd also do it there just to keep it there. I also used masking tape because I ran out of electrical tape and was too much of a cheap hoe to go to the store and buy more. So after I had done all of that and tested out, I don't have a picture of it, but I also taped the 2 parts together after I tested them out to see where they would fall on my body, not fall on my body, but where they'd be positioned on my body. I paper mache'd it. I did about 2-ish layers of paper mache, only because I really wanted to make sure that I did it well and that it had more of, it was more sturdy with the paper mache. After I paper mache'd, I started to cut out the scales from red and gray sheets. After I had cut out all of them, which was a pain in the ass to do, by the way, I hot glued it on one by one, and I burnt myself so many times on my hot glue gun. It was kind of gross, so careful with that too. After I had hot glued them all on, I started making the harness. I made 2 of the harness, shoulder harnesses that went across my shoulders and chest with a black backpack strap material. I'm not exactly sure what it's called. I just found it at Hancock Fabric, so I was like, yes, this is good. The harness was made extremely problematic and didn't really help keep the Kagune up, so I ended up adding a 3rd strap later on around my waist to make it more sturdy and actually, stay up and not fall down. After I had finished the harness, which took me quite some time to do, I started to spray paint it. I used red and black spray paint, and at first I did just a plain base coat of red, which, quick side note, if you are going to make the scales, so some people just do it smooth and don't make scales or whatever, make sure to use all red. The gray I had was kind of hard to cover up with the red spray paint, and I ended up using more on the parts where I had gray scales. It's just easier. So once I had the base coat done and dried, I took the black spray paint and sprayed it in the opposite direction of the scales to give it more of a texturized look as well as depth. And I also spray painted the back to give it so it could match my t-shirt color. And ta-da! The finished product. overall, this prop took about 30 to 40 hours to create, mainly just because of the harness. The harness really caused me a lot of problems, and also waiting for the paper mache to dry also took like a long time as well. And here is a video of me showing you the details. Recently, I wore this to the convention C2E2, and I have to touch it up because after wearing it for a full day, the spray paint started to rub off, especially because I kept bumping into people with it. So I have to touch that up, and I have to probably redo the harness just so that it's more secure, because the harness to this day is still giving me trouble. And here is me trying it on to show you the mobility of it, how well it stays, and just a closer look at the harnesses. Once again, as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to have to go back and probably redo the harness just so, oh my god, what am I doing? Stop. Anyways, the harnesses are kind of loose, and also I was very lazy and I didn't cut off like the extra part of the harness. I don't know why I didn't. I was just a lazy motherfucker who just didn't do it. But yeah, and I also have to redo the harness. Keep saying I have to redo the harness because it like emphasizes my boobs, and I don't like it, and it's really weird. And why do I keep dancing? I need to stop. The mobility of the Kagune is actually pretty nice. It stays really close to me. It's as close as I could possibly get it to my back, and it when I walk, it doesn't move too much, so that's really nice. Because when I was walking through the convention hall, it was packed, and so I had to make sure that it wasn't just swinging everywhere, killing everyone and stabbing people. So I hope this walkthrough was somewhat helpful. If you want a more detailed description, please feel free to tell me and I can do it. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Once again, I always hope this was helpful. For watching. I hope this video helped you and gave you some ideas. If you ever wanted to construct Kaneki's Kagune or someone else's Kagune, that it gave you some ideas of like what to do. Even though the process I used wasn't exactly the greatest, I definitely can and probably will go back and improve it and find other ways or like other materials that will help, like that are easier to work with, that will help me, and not help me, but help me make it better, I guess. Please feel free to hit subscribe if you want to get updated when I make new videos. Yeah, that's basically all I have. So I will see you guys later. Bye! Yeah, that's weird.